Heavy Hitter is sponsored by ASCO.
Welcome back to Friday Football Fever, everybody. It's already week 3. This season is already flying by. A great matchup tonight out in the hill country. Was weather a factor? What else was a factor tonight in this great game? KV's Matt Mitchell is live with the story. Matt, what do you have for us?
Good evening, Mike from Burnet. And you know, the last time that I hung out with the Battling Billies fans, it was last year in Wimberley, right after the Billies had clinched their first district title, and it seemed like forever. Well, Fredericksburg picked up this season right where it left off. 2-0 after victories over Lampasas and Travis. Meanwhile, the host Burnet Bulldogs tonight coming in at 1-1. Started off very impressively with a shootout win, 51-45 over Brennan Wooten and those Marble Falls Mustangs. Meanwhile, after that, they lost to Abilene Wiley in similar blowout fashion, but on the losing end of that one. Coming in at 1-1. So, how would they fare this evening? Let's go to the highlights and show you in our game of the week here in Burnet. And sure enough, it was offense right out of the gate. Scoreless after first quarter, the first play of the second quarter. Punch it in on 4th and goal, won't you? Eric Walker does the honors of the 7-0 home team. The Billies try to respond, but Kyle Grona is going to be picked off by Darius Johnson, who dodges and weaves his way 18 yards to the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a 14-0 Burnet lead. The Bulldogs would be on the march again a short time later. Austin Moore finding Steven Gallardo, who slips a tackle and takes off. He is eventually horse-collared after 32 yards, but the green and white are in business. A few plays later, Brock Foster sprints around the left side and into the end zone. 21-0 Burnet. But no quit in these Billies. Finally mounting a drive. Tough running by Bryce Johnson, but boy, does he take a lick at the end of it. Watch this. Oh, boy. The tough young man would shake it off and light up the scoreboard on 4th and goal. 21-7 Burnet still at that point. Back come the Bulldogs. Moore gonna wing it to Foster on the slip screen, and he's running right into your living room. 17-yard TD, 27-7 Bulldogs. And just seconds before halftime, Burnet goes for the kill shot. Moore going up top to Joel Johnson, 55 yards on the bomb, and the Bulldogs have the 34-7 halftime advantage. The beat would go on after the orange wedges, friends. Moore on the throwback, this time to Jarrett Thornley, the big fella, turning down the sideline. 20 yards to pay dirt, 41-7 at that point, and the Burnet defense would make it stand up. Trent Rockefeller rocks the Billies with the pick 6, and that puts the game on ice. Burnet runs away with a blowout win, 55-7. Coach, it was a heck of a performance for you guys tonight. I mean, really came out, established the tempo. You got to be pleased with how your team played.
We are. Proud of our kids for the effort that they put forth tonight. Challenged them to go play with relentless effort all night, and that's what they did. Bounced back from a tough loss last week against a good Abilene Wiley team, but just proud as I could be of them.
Do you have a read on this team yet?
Well, we feel like we can be a good team. We've told them from the get-go we have a chance to be great, but we got to work at it. Got a lot of work to do still, but super proud of them. We'll just take it one week at a time, and we're glad to be back on the winning track.
Indeed, they are back on the winning track, and we were talking about earlier about weather being a factor in so many other games around Central Texas tonight. Not really a factor in this one, believe it or not. We're very thankful for that, as you can imagine. It's just misting now here, and a couple of kids were just playing football behind me here on Bulldogs field, but not much of a factor tonight until the very end of the game. They called the game with a couple of minutes left in the 4th quarter just to keep everybody safe. They thought there was some weather in the area, so they said, everybody just go home safely, and left the final at 55-7. That's going to do it from here in Burnet. We'll send it back to Mike. I'm Matt Mitchell for Friday Football Fever.
Thank you, Matt. Let's see, they left the lights on and no rain. Lucky night for you. Also could be a lucky night for you. It's time to talk about T-shirts. Oh, it's upside